Hello, group. Welcome to Action Rock Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, right now, our weekly exercise in going through my YouTube music likes and hitting the shuffle button and seeing what YouTube, from my 5,000, less than that, but about likes of individual songs, it comes up with on my personal radio station as such. And you have one too, don't you? If you don't, make one up. Just throw us some of your favorites in the comments. So I got 8 songs for you today. And I'm trying to talk you into checking them out or reminding you how cool they are. YouTube, first 3 selections was great in this exercise. They start with the Fabulous Corettes, the new record. Shake, all capitalized letters, exclamation point. As well it should. This is basically a 60s girl group pop record with modern production and sass and attitude from the singer, the female singer. But Shake, that rocks a bit. As I just said, capital letters all, exclamation point. It does. Check it out here on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. That's the point. Everything's on YouTube, and that's where they gave it to me. Second song. Small preamble. I'm in one of those, 90s Circuit City, Best Buy, when they were discounting the CDs. They get you into the store, and then they try to get you to buy stoves and microwaves from them by getting you to go in to buy the cheap CDs. And there's one particular store on display. My heart jumped because serious drug problem through the 80s and the late 70s. And we were hoping he would get his stuff together and get back in action. Well, this told me he did. Hughes, Burning Japan Live. Great album. You should have it. Check it out here on YouTube. The track they played me was Muscle and Blood from this record, the Hughes Thrall Band, self-titled Hughes Thrall. Muscle and Blood. What a riff. What a riff. And what a vocal from Glenn. Okay. That kicked my ass. Shake, the Muscle and Blood live in Japan. Good start, YouTube. Good start. The third tune. Loved it. But I gotta explain, in case you don't know this band. You love your AC/DC, right? Yes. Yes, you do. You love this era of Bon Scott, AC/DC. Yes, you do. You love big balls. Of course you do. Bon with that upper crust accent. He wasn't. But he pretended. Because, they have the biggest balls of them all. Ballrooms. ballrooms. So, what if you could have an entire record of big balls? Would you be interested? Big balls, the entire thing? I give you the upper crust. Rocking as hard as AC/DC with Bon Scott ever did, with the big balls gag. They dress up, as you see, white rigs, finery. Lord Bendover leading them as he does. And Took torsion and, yeah. They're right there to, what's the word again? They're right to rock, to final. That's the word I was reaching for. Don't use that word often. To final. Given by God as royalty over us common rabble. The song from a late night TV show. I forget the guy's name of whose TV show it was. We're finished with finishing school. Does that sound lame to you? It's not. It's not. He will kick your ass. He will totally kick your ass. We're finished. Trust me, just go find it. We're finishing school. Once more into the preaches. Well, and of course they keep up the gag. Bleed me? That's coming back. No vaccinations, and people are just going to say, well, just bleed me. That really works, doesn't it? No political comments, Mr. May. Once more into the preaches, the title track, that also really kicks your ass. Eureka, I Found Love. Badminton. Remember playing badminton? Matron. Oh, that's a nice one. And, they just keep up. Everyone's equal. Some more than others. So, it's a great band. They're still out there. I saw them recently. And you wish AC/DC would rock like this. AC/DC kind of lost the plot. These guys found it again. Check out Upper Crust. 2 words. Okay, the upper crust at times. The song was We're Finished with Finishing School. Okay. A more mainstream pick. Cheap and Nasty. By this record by Whitesnake. The second track. Cheap and Nasty. Remember Cheap and Nasty? Yes, you do. If you don't, go find it. It kicks your ass. Cheap and Nasty, of a slip of the tongue. Reminds you that there's some decent stuff on this record. Especially Cheap and Nasty. Okay, I'm going to have to explain this one. It has rock pedigree. Here, let me explain. Remember the Easy Beats? Friday on My Mind? Don't you? Isn't that cool? You remember bands covering Friday on my mind. Friday on my mind. Friday's coming again. You know, the weekend's ending. It ended. It's coming up again. Okay? Easy Beats, you know, was a late 60s, you know, pop band out of Australia. And, you know, pretty influential in a lot of bands later. That doesn't get to you? I didn't get excited yet. How about if I told you that the leaders of the Easy Beats became the producers for the Bon Scott AC/DC records? You know, the good stuff before Highway to Hell. Fada and Young. Young being older brother of Malcolm and Angus, George Young. Okay? And his writing partner Harry Fada. They produced Power Age. They produced it all. Big Brother took care of them. And of course the live Blood You Got. And of course they did the other AC/DC record that I referred to earlier. Okay? So they decided to go back in the performing business and record, but they didn't perform. They didn't go on tour. They had production work to do because everyone was hiring them. There's AC/DC's producers. They produced all kinds of stuff. You own it, especially if you're deep. So they just went, you know, they had a song no one else would do. They go, well, okay, let's get this done. We can do it. We're going to go on the band. Oh, it's probably just going to be a flash in the pan type of thing. Eureka. They named the band Flash and the Pan. The trick is, are they a heavy band? No. They're producing all kinds of heavy rock with AC/DC and others. When they do their own record, and of course with the Easy Beats, and it's synth pop. It's new wave. But it's great. Synth pop and new wave. It's great. The song is called Rating on a Train, or Rating, here, let me get my memory checked. Waiting for a Train. Okay? Go find on YouTube Rating for a Train by Flash in the Pan. Sung, spoken really, by Big Brother George. Well, the young brothers are a little bit not that tall, but they can kick my ass, I'm sure. Bless you, Malcolm, we miss you. We lost Malcolm a while ago, you know. We lost George. George died too. Angus is going on tour. Looking forward to it. So, Waiting for a Train. And I watched the video for it. The Congo line. That's your clue. What kind of music is it? You can conga line to it. It's just this beautiful. They did a disco version of it too. Love it anyway. And it is so unique and perfect and not just the only song that is unique and perfect from Flash in the Pan. So, go find it, listen to it. If you heard it before, react to it in the comments. You know, they got the pedigree. So, trust them. The next song I want to talk about is not a heavy song, again. But it's perfect. Animat. This is hopefully not last. It's been a while. You owe us a record, Adam. Okay? The album of the title of this album. It's a sentence. And nothing, if you don't write down what this title is, just remember, it's a sentence. Even has a verb. Okay? Animat is to blueback Husser in Marion, the gunner's daughter. Let me repeat that. That's the title of the record. Just remember, it's a sentence. The pretty girl on the cover. Okay? So I think it is my favorite song on this record. It is my favorite song on this record. And it starts with a heartbeat. The drum and the bass do basically a heartbeat. And then Marco's guitar comes in. Marco's not on the entire record, you know, Adam's usual guitar player. But he's on this track. And the track is called Punky Young Girl. Smooshed together into one word. Punky Young Girl. You leave out a letter or two. You know, you pronounce it Punky Young Girl, but it's like punk, young, no second G, one G. You'll see. So Punky Young Girl is just Adam being tempted by a young girl, a punky young girl. And it's just perfect with that heartbeat rhythm and Marco's guitar and the lyrics and Adam's vocal. It's not for the young people that may sneak their way into this channel. It's a little mature. It's from the viewpoint of a mature man, lusting after a young. And I didn't get. There's no video for this song. You just get to see this young lady looking at us as Punky Young Girl plays. It's. And as the song ends, it goes back to the heartbeat. And then it stops. That's the rhythm we're talking about, your heartbeat. Okay? A perfect pop song if it was released in a different era where people would hear it. Punky Young Girl. Just trust your Uncle Richard, okay? Now, it's getting late. And I'm daydreaming about going to bed. I'm doing this exercise. It was late at night. And YouTube, being the snarky thing it is, you don't want to go to bed yet. how about some Turbonegro? It was live Turbonegro, the opening song of the set of this big ass festival. And people are jazzed, and the band's taking the stage with some, entrance music from this record. And Hank Van Hell was still alive and still in the band as the singer. And they take the stage, and they start with "All My Friends Are Dead." I'm old. That's kind of true. For a different reason than Hank Van Hale's friends. Kicked in the head. All my friends are dead. Great song. Great concert. I only got that one song in this particular thing. Do I have the concert in another section? Great. Great song. Great band. Turbonegro. If you're old, if you're young, and you don't know your Turbonegro, you're not easily offended. Especially if you're not easily offended. Say, work at it. They're terrorists, they're homosexuals, they're child molesters, I'm sure they're good family men, each and every one. Maybe. Great band, great song, great start to the show. Alright, I gotta go to bed. But then YouTube goes, "You want to see this one, don't you?" Well, let me explain this one. Remember your Rainbow? Remember the first Jolyn Turner Rainbow record? Difficult to Cure? You remember the title track? Too Difficult to Cure? Beethoven's Ninth, done as rock and roll, by Richie Blackmore on guitar and future T Purple keyboard player Don Airey on keyboards. Beethoven's Ninth as rock and roll. It was great. It is great. Not past tense. It is great. Well, this is before the T Purple reunion, of course. And John Lord hears that. And John Lord, I guess, likes his Beethoven. And maybe he takes slight umbrage. Umbrage is not a fancy term. You know what umbrage is. Maybe he was slightly upset. Good old John Lord, the keyboard player of T Purple. And so John goes, "What the hell are you doing, Richie?" "Here. Richie, you dedicated a record to Bach, didn't you?" "Well, Bach onto this." John Lord did a solo record that was not a classical record. It was basically a rock and roll. There's a variety of things on this. He does Bach onto this, which is rock and roll Bach. Johann, I didn't do my homework. I forget. What J.S. Bach. Let's stick with that. Don't ask me. It's Johann is his first name. Second name is Bach. Bach. Leave it at that. It's brilliant. Bach onto this. And the video I got that goes with it is a picture video of various pictures of John Lord and his career with pictures of Bach, appropriately. It's beautiful, and it rocks, and it kicks your ass, and it's Bach. Simon Phillips on drums. You know, used to drum for Judas Priest, you know, and everybody else. Simon Phillips has been around. And some of this, and John Lord's Whitesnake, because of course John Lord was still in Whitesnake at this time. Got Bernie Marsden on guitar and Neil Murray. Of course, Neil Murray would go on to be with Black Sabbath in the 80s. You know, after David Coverdale says, "I don't need you, Neil." So Neil gets a gig with Black Sabbath. You know, that Dolly Martin years. That we now say are so wonderful, but at the time no one cared. But now it's classic. At least the old guys do say that. So, Bach onto this. It's beautiful. And this is a great record. Before I forget, really nice record found here on YouTube. And that's what I got for you today. So, in the comments below, do your own YouTube shuffle exercise with your 5,000 musical likes and see what YouTube coughs up at you. If you don't have a YouTube, why don't you have a YouTube account? Well, you're on YouTube, but you should have 5,000 musical likes stored up in the musical app. It's free. Press the shuffle button. What you get? It's fun. A hell of a lot better than listen to someone else's radio station. Listen to yours. If you like this video, click the like button. Subscribe. Ring the notification bell. Leave a comment. Yeah, just what 8, 10 songs are in your head right now that you would go crazy if you heard them be played somewhere. Okay? That maybe you haven't heard in a while. And it's probably here on YouTube somewhere. Okay? And for the latest in action rock, garage rock, and legacy bands, you come back here to the Action Rock Corner. Thank you for watching, and have fun with your music. Go find some fresh music. All right? And we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.